Did take a second for that to respond. Look at that tag flew, whoops. Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's going to be reviewing the all-new Hyundai Tucson Hybrid. Before we get in this video though, a huge shout out and thank you to the Murdoch Hyundai here in Linden, Utah for giving me some time with this Tucson Hybrid. I'm going to include a link to their inventory in the description down below so you can check out what they have currently. If you have any questions or need any help, just ask for Spencer. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money, the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. Under the hood, we have a turbocharged 1.6 liter 4-cylinder that is paired to a hybrid system and a 6-speed automatic transmission. Total system output is 226 horsepower and then 258 pound-feet of torque, with fuel economy being 38 around town and then 38 on the highway. Now before we go over the front end, I do want to mention if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. Starting with the hood, you guys can see we've got those sharp lines there in the center, and I think it looks really cool, and this metallic white paint is beautiful. Now we've got these cool LED daytime running lights, which are kind of hard to see, and then you guys can see with the LED headlights, notice the coloration on the grille and the shape of the grille, so it kind of matches the daytime running lights to pull it all together. Parking sensors down below that as well. And putting it all together, I really do love the look of the new Tucson. Coming around the side here, tire and wheel setup is 235, 55, 19 in the front and over in the rear as well. And then you guys can see with the wheel design, you got the silver there on the top with the gray inside of that. Pretty interesting cuts and design here with the fender flares. And then notice the bodywork continues all along the side. And then look at those cuts along the side as well. Those are aggressive. And putting it all together, it's different, but it looks really good. Here's our key fob for the Tucson. You can see we've got the unlock function, the lock function, the opening for the hatch, self-park, and then our remote start function with the Hyundai logo there on the back. And, well, bada bing, bada boom. Now, taking a look at the trunk area of the Tucson, first off, you guys can see that we got a little 12-volt right there, and then we have these latches to throw down the second row, but plenty of storage space here in the back, and more storage underneath. When you're all done, just press that button right there and that will lower the hatch right back down. Now taking a look at the taillights here on the Tucson, definitely an interesting design. Obviously you got that light bar look. Tucson badge there on the one side, and then you guys can see you've got your H-Track hybrid badge here on the other side. Notice the H in H-Track is actually blue, which is pretty cool. And while putting it all together, I really like the look of the new Tucson. It's sporty and, you know, it's also good looking overall. Now taking a look at the rear door panel here, you got this blacked out piece of trim, and then notice you've got like the silver trim around it, which is interesting, and then some cloth trim here, but you guys can see the padding down below that, and then piano black trim, of course. Heated seats here for the rear as well, and you know, nice looking door panel. And then taking a look at the seats themselves, notice perforated all down the center portion there. Legroom here in the back is solid. We got a little storage pocket right there. We got some vents here in the center and some USB action down below. And then headroom's also good. And would you look at this, we got a cup holder armrest. Now with the front door panel, you guys can see the trim here at the top, and look at the cloth trim down below, and then the padding, all of our piano black trim with our window controls, door lock and unlock, and then the mirror adjustments, and the mirrors do have blind spot monitoring. Also, almost forgot, memory seat function. It's built into the black piece of trim, which is interesting. And then with the front seat, you guys can see the padding nose perforated all down the center portion there with the seat, and then we have all of our power adjustments on the side. We've got our stability control here. Of course, we've got our battery reset. That is for the hatch, and then the steering wheel is manually adjustable. Now taking a look at the steering wheel here, you guys can see really nice padding, and notice we got paddle shifters there on the back for that 6-speed automatic. This does come with adaptive cruise control as well as our steering assist. Got your volume phone controls there on the other side, and of course, 2-spoke design, right? Turn signal light stock, windshield wiper stock. So we got this full digital gauge cluster. Notice we got the hybrid info there on the right side, and then we can scroll through some menus here in the center to see different bits of info on the vehicle. We're just gonna leave it on the all-wheel drive system. And then we do have some different drive modes, and this has the cool animations with the drive modes as well, so kind of makes things fun. I also want to mention the cloth trim here. Notice it continues onto the dash, and then how that line connects with the line of the vent. Whoever designed this likes everything to connect, and it looks really cool actually. Now in reverse, we do have a backup camera with trajectory lines to turn the steering wheel, as well as the bird's eye view. And I mean, you can see out of every single angle with this vehicle. So great 360 camera system overall. As to the rest of the infotainment system, first off, response time is really good, easy to use, frankly. And other than that, I mean, we do have a page for the hybrid info, so we can see exactly what is happening. Oh man, all you can see is my reflection, but hopefully you can also see the buttons there at the top, as well as our dual zone climate controls. And then down below that section, you guys can see we've got our charging ports here with our wireless phone charging pad. Now we also have our hill descent control here in the center. That is your parking sensors. That's just to pop on the camera. Heated and ventilated seats for both the driver and passenger, and a heated steering wheel. Center lock here to make the power distribution more equal front to rear. Drive mode select, and then our transmission select is all of these buttons here. It's kind of like curved down, which is very interesting. Got a couple cup holders right here, and then our parking brake, and then our auto hold. And I really like the finish on all of the buttons. It makes it feel very upscale. Now with the center console, that'll pop open. Decent amount of storage space inside, really nice padding and stitching here on top, and then popping into the glove box, also solid. And then you guys can see we've got our control here for the full panoramic center, which we're gonna keep that open for the time being. Oh, and I just opened the whole thing. Anyways, now when it comes to pricing the limited hybrid stickers for right about $40,000, let's see how it drives. Well, let's talk about visibility before we set off. Here's your visibility over the hood, both the mirrors, which do have blind spot monitoring, and then through the rest of the rear, and let's set off. So, let's just set right off here in the Tucson. First off, these seats are very comfortable also. No climate controls. If you guys want to know something funny behind the scenes, I purposefully, did I turn that? No, it's not all the way up. There we go, let's turn it off. I purposely tried to drive the cars around without the climate on when it's in the winter time, so that I never get warmed up, which I know might sound counterintuitive, but it makes it so that I get used to the cold, so then it doesn't bother me anymore, right? Also, there's some storage here on the side that I forgot to mention. It's kind of down low, which is interesting, that is for sure. We're in the EV mode right now. Very quiet. It's like silent. That's so cool. Yeah, I love how this drives. It's got the turn signal camera too, which is another nice safety feature to have. And it's something you can flex on your passengers and be like, hey, do you have a camera pop on? Do you have a camera view pop on when you turn your turn signal? I think not. But you close the center up here for lighting. Yeah, still in the EV mode. It's actually, I'll pull up the hybrid display so you guys can see what's happening. Looks like the battery's got quite a bit of charge, so it's able to, and just drive an EV, and it's got decent enough power. Yeah, engine just turned on right there. But it's got decent enough power that it can get the car moving at lower speeds. And obviously higher speeds you're gonna, have to use the engine. Braking feels pretty normal. Yeah, I love how quiet this is. That's the thing that I like the most. Seamless with the engine popping on. And the steering wheel feels really good as well. That's another, I feel like, nice point with this Tucson Hybrid. Yeah, it's so smooth. Okay, so we've got it in the sport mode, and so it'll be interesting to see how this performs. I'll actually put the center locker on too, so that makes the power distribution more equal, because it does send a little bit more to the front, it looks like. It's charging it. As you guys can see, it keeps the engine on in the sport mode, but it still does the normal charge and everything with the battery pack. Yeah, I love how smooth this is up to a stop. Did take a second for that to respond. Look at that tag flew, whoops. It's quick, it's actually pretty quick. For this type of hybrid, I think it did a pretty good job. So when you're full throttle, it's pretty even. Still front biased with the driveline, still front biased. So, summing things up here with the Tucson Hybrid, what I'd have to say is I really like how this drives. It's very comfortable. The hybrid system is really seamless. I love the transmission. It's actually a hybrid that I feel like is enjoyable to drive in this segment. In terms of like actually being able to accelerate and everything, it's got good power. Being turbocharged helps out quite a bit. Like there's a lot that this has going for it. And I'm glad, I don't know, I'm glad this doesn't have a CVT. That's the big thing. Like, right, example, on that like steep driveway, if I was a CVT and I just stopped like I did, it would be like, I don't like that, man. Whereas this, it can actually handle it. So let me know what you guys think about the new Tucson Hybrid.